Full-time real estate boss and part-time President Donald Trump has just gone nuclear in his attempt to rebrand the Kennedy Center after himself, and I'll share his newest wrecking ball swing and the Kennedy family reaction coming up next. Hello, I'm Dan and you're watching Occupy Democrats. If you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button to receive all of our reports covering Trump's destruction, his self-destruction, and his many derelictions of duty. Let's begin this one with an update on his latest move that comes on the heels of the many cancellations by entertainers that has completely wrecked his self-worship agenda at the Performing Arts Center.
The Kennedy Center will close for 2 years. President Trump says this is for, quote, construction, revitalization, and complete rebuilding. That starts on July 4th. Recently, several performers, though, scheduled to appear at the Performing Arts Institution, have pulled out following Mr. Trump's takeover. CBS News correspondent Natalie Brand joins us from the White House with more on this. Natalie, good morning. What do we know about this renovation project and the reaction from the announcement?
Good morning, Errol. Well, the advocacy group that actually sued over the name change of the Kennedy Center is threatening further legal action over this planned closure and questioned whether it has to do with those high-profile artists and patrons pulling out or boycotting the center. Meanwhile, staffers at the Kennedy Center tell CBS News that they learned of this news from the president's own social media post on Sunday night, in which he again called this a complete rebuilding, although many details of what that means unknown at this point, saying it will start on the 4th of July, and adding the decision to fully close versus partially shut down came after a year of review of experts arguing it will be a better, faster renovation. He also claimed that the center has been in bad condition structurally without providing specifics on the problem. Now, interim Kennedy Center director Richard Grinnell also put out a statement echoing something similar, calling this renovation as historic and comprehensive. We also have a statement from Congresswoman Joyce Beatty, who sits on the center's board of trustees. She said, in part, once again, the president has acted with total disregard for Congress, saying that because the Kennedy Center is congressionally funded, Congress should have been consulted on any decision to shut down its operations, undertake major renovations, especially for 2 years. And she's questioning what happens to the contracts of artists and employees, those that currently have with the Kennedy Center during this 2-year period. A closure would require approval by the board. But as you know, Errol, the president recently installed many of his own board members and allies. Yeah, that's right. I believe he installed himself as the chair of that board.
So what does the Kennedy family think of Trump shutting down the center for 2 years after his renaming debacle?
Reaction is just starting to come in, including that of Kennedy family members. They are weighing in on social media. That includes great-nephew and former Congress member Joe Kennedy III, saying, in part, while this trespass on the people's will is painful, President Kennedy would remind us that it is not buildings that define the greatness of a nation. It's the actions of its people and leaders, accusing the administration of trying to erase connection, community, and commitment to the rights of all.
And Jack Schlossberg, grandson of John F. Kennedy, said, Trump can take the Kennedy Center for himself. He can change the name, shut the doors, and demolish the building. He can try to kill JFK. But JFK is kept alive by us, now rising up to remove Donald Trump, bring him to justice, and restore the freedoms generations fought for. And niece Maria Shriver called out Trump by translating his announcement and implying his ego was damaged by the mass cancellations and the shutdown is a diversion meant to save face. Translation, it has been brought to my attention that due to the name change, but nobody's telling me it's due to the name change, but it's been brought to my attention that entertainers are canceling left and right, and I have determined that since the name change, no one wants to perform there any longer. I've determined that due to this change in schedule, it's best for me to close this center down and rebuild a new center that will bear my name, which will surely get everybody to stop talking about the fact that everybody's canceling. Right? First, I think the 80-year-old Trump is preoccupied with all these land and property acquisitions because he's returning to his real estate comfort zone as he enters the sunset of his life. If he is early-stage dementia, as many suspect, regression to what he knows would be par for the course. But spinning a narrative is still something he can do with ease. The result may not make sense, but he can do it. In this case, he renamed a building in his honor and then declared it tired, broken, and dilapidated. That order of events makes no sense, but I do agree that there is something that is tired, broken, and dilapidated, and it needs to be shut down. And if you're a frustrated American and feel at a loss for what to do, check out indivisible.org. It's a nationwide movement of everyday people organizing on the ground in all 50 states to stop the rise of authoritarianism in the United States and to build a real democracy that works for all of us.